Happy New Year. Let's do our first little project for the year. Now this is a project just for fun. My buddy George over at Uwannawatch. I've talked about him before. I'll link his channel down below. He has issued a challenge for YouTubers. What do you call it? Classy, brassy challenge. Gotta get something brass, something old, preferably beat up. Clean it up, polish it up, make it look nice. And send him some pictures, and he'll promote the pictures and promote everybody's channel. He's already done his. Did a brass punch, come out really pretty, really nice, very handy tool too. And I don't think you win nothing, just it's fun thing to do. So I jumped in. I have, y'all know me, I like my boats. I like working on boats, tinkering with stuff like that. I have an old brass prop, boat prop. I do believe it to be brass. I polished up one little corner and it looks like brass to me. This side over here is starting to look like brass with a little polish. I thought it may be bronze to start with, so there's a very slight red tint in the corner. But at one time, I believe this was painted, probably red. Now this is in a old toolbox that belonged to my father-in-law. He gave me years ago, and he called it his junk toolbox. Pipe fittings, nipple fittings, cast iron stuff, and this was in there. And George come out with a challenge, and I said, hey, I got this one. Alright, the only thing I've done to it so far, I put it in some warm water and washed it with some soap. And I had to bring my camp stove out and heat some water because it's really cold this morning. I don't have hot water out here. The big stove's not going yet. So next step, we're going to put it in a vinegar bath. Let it soak a little bit. Now you clean brass and bronze and copper pretty much the same way with a vinegar. You can do a flour mixture with vinegar and paste and all that, but we're just going to cover it with vinegar and see what happens. Let's go out and do that. All right, we got our prop in an old plastic pan here. And we got some vinegar. As you can tell, I use all the time. Get some of the dust off of it. I'm splashing it all over me. And we'll just put the rest. This was not quite a whole gallon. We'll just put all this in there and probably have to turn it over after a while, but we can reuse this vinegar anyway. There. Okay, let's see if we lift this up, if it'll cover a little better. Maybe not. Nah. It's covered to the top. We let it soak like that for a little bit, then we'll turn it over. Just want to get a lot of this off there before I go to. It's got some kind of scaly stuff on it, like maybe some paint splattered on it or glue or something like that. And we'll get that cleaned off, figure out how to do that, and then we'll buff it up real good and see what it looks like. It's even some numbers on there I'm starting to see, so might even be able to figure out what it is, what it was on at one time. All right, let's get back on our brass challenge. We got this prop. Now this is vinegar soaked for 2 days. Came really clean. It still has that red tint, almost like bronze, but I'm not sure. I think it's brass because I polished up that edge there before I even put it in the vinegar, and it still looks like brass to me. So we're gonna continue on with it, and if I get disqualified, oh well. I just won't win the prize. There ain't no prize, so anyway, still something cool. It's windy, cold outside. I don't have but a couple hours to do anything today. So we'll start off with a rag, and where's my veterans out there? Good old Brasso. I'm gonna wipe it down with that real good and see what it looks like, and then we can go to the buffer and buff it up and see what it looks like over there. Let me get all this ready and we'll see it. Alright y'all, the Brasso doesn't seem to be doing much to it. A little bit, but not much. Brasso's old too, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. So, we'll clean a little bit of it off, but at this rate it'll take all day. Let's keep the Brasso in mind, but we'll go over to the buffer and do some high speed on it and see what happens. That is going to work. That'll work, and that's the Brasso. Now let's try a little bit of white compound, polishing compound. See if that's any different. Alright, Brasso's giving it a little more of a shine. Alright, let's go with the Brasso. Finish cleaning this one up, then I'll take it over there and we'll do them one at a time. This is the back side, and we'll do this side. Alright y'all, here we go. It's not perfect by no means. I could go a lot further with it on the buffer, but that's going to be good enough. I'm still not quite sure this is brass, like I said, but it may be bronze, or it may be a combination of both. But anyway, we got it to this point. Next, I've got just a little left. Y'all know they don't make this stuff anymore. I'm going to put a light coat of wax on it, like this, and let it dry and buff it off by hand, I think. The buffer actually gets it hot, and with the compound and the Brasso, some of it sticks on there, and you got to clean it off with acetone. A really light coat. Let it dry and haze over. Now when the Johnson wax is gone, if I can't find any more here or there, I do have some regular car wax, turtle wax, so that'll work too. Just the idea that this old Johnson wax has been around for so many years, and it works very, very, very good on everything. Wood, metal. Just hate to see them go out of business or stop making it, whatever happened. I don't know what happened with the company, but they probably don't need to know. Because there's nothing I can do about it. Just wished I had some. And I've seen people find it at a flea market, so every now and then somebody will have a can or something like that, and if I ever run into it, I'll get it. But there we go. That looks like a pretty good, very, very light coat. It's getting colder and colder and colder, so I'm going to set this over closer to the heater and let it dry good, buff it off by hand. And then I got to go start cracking water pipes. And we're supposed to have a pretty good freeze tonight and the rest of the week. So possibly even some wintry mix Friday. Which around here that means snow. That means chaos. So alright, let this dry and we'll buff it off and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright y'all, I think we're done with this one. That's about all the time I have to put into it. Looks really nice. Let's see, there's the back side. Now this thing is in actually really, really good shape. I didn't try to polish down in here, but the splines would fit over the motor shaft. They're all there. Nothing's broke, scratched, chipped, anything like that. Now this could actually be used if you had a motor that it would fit. So obviously I don't. It is a K33 Michigan is what it says. If anybody knows what kind of motor that is, I mean what kind of motor this fits, drop it down in the comment, let me know. If you have a, I'm sure it's an antique, like I said, it's been in that toolbox for 40 years. And who knows how long before that. It's not really a family heirloom, because I know my father-in-law never had a boat. He passed away in his upper 80s. Never had a boat, never fished much at all. As far as I know, her grandfather didn't fish. Nobody in the family that I knew of had a boat. I mean, that they ever talked about. But anyway, if somebody could use this on a restoration, fixing up an old motor or something like that, email link is below. Send me an email and we'll make a deal. No, it's not $500 or $600. I will tell you it'll be about $20 to $25 to ship it because it's heavy. But I would rather somebody get this and use it if you can. Because if not, it's going to go in a drawer or somewhere around here and sit there for another 40 years. So there we go. And once again, I'm not sure if it's brass or bronze or a mixture or whatever. I'm not a metallurgist on this kind of stuff. I know knife steel, but I don't know this. So I'm going to enter it in the Uwannawatch Classy Brassy Challenge anyway. Just because I think it's cool. So there we go. Thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. And it has dipped into the 30s outside, so it's about time to go in and get some soup. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support.